This car is less common than being injured by lightning. In the whole of last year, the BYD Seal U DMI was only newly registered 188 times in Germany. That's astonishing because this car offers more than most of its competitors and is cheaper. Would you still rather stand in an open field with a tinfoil hat during a thunderstorm than drive a Seal U? You'll see that now. You'll also find out which alternatives might be better and what speaks for this car. But first, here are 5 reasons why this car is so unpopular. The fact that hardly anyone knows the BYD brand also plays a role. There are several reasons why this car may not be as popular as others in its category. Let's dive into them one by one. Reason number 1 is the charging power. The Seal U is available in 2 versions, fully electric or as a plug-in hybrid. The plug-in hybrid has a battery capacity of 18.3 kilowatt hours and the maximum AC charging power is 11 kilowatts. That's okay, but there are now plug-in hybrids that can manage 22 kilowatts. With this charging power at 11 kilowatts, it takes around 2 hours to charge the battery from 15 to 100%. Much more disappointing is the maximum DC charging power, which is just 18 kilowatts. Usually these days, even with plug-in hybrids, it is 50 kilowatts. What I also find interesting is how they stated the time period. Normally, the charging time is stated between 10 and 80% by most manufacturers. BYD decided to state the whole thing between 30 and 80%, which makes it sound less bad. It is actually 35 minutes. Reason number 2 is the trunk. 425 to a maximum of 1,440 litres is a bit disappointing. The trunk of the plug-in model is an astonishing 127 litres smaller than the electric version of the Seal U. The trunk Tetris is also made more difficult by the high loading sill. Reason number 3 is the towing capacity. Maximum 1,300 kilograms, towing capacity is low, especially for a car that weighs 2.1 tons and is almost 4.8 meters long. A VW Tiguan or a BMW X3 can tow more, 1.8 tons or 2 tons respectively. Now you could argue that it is a plug-in hybrid and can only tow 1 spring at most anyway, but even for a plug-in hybrid that's not much. Reason number 4, there is little individuality. There are cars where the imagination knows no bounds. You shouldn't expect this service with the BYD Seal U. There is little configuration, but you can choose from 5 exterior colors. For the interior, you have the choice between black and black with brown. That's it. There are no optical packages, as is common with many German manufacturers. Those who don't attach particular importance to customization won't really miss anything. In that respect, that's not a negative point for everyone. The engine is a 1.5-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. There are also 2 electric motors on board. Together, the engines produce an unexpectedly high level of power. More on that in a moment when it comes to the positive points. Reason number 5 is the electric range and beeping noises. It's not that unusual for a modern car to beep a lot. The concert of beeping noises that you get here, but beep beep of course, speed limit, we're used to that. Getting another blunk when you give way is new, and I have to admit, in the long run it's really annoying. Luckily you can turn this beeping off, but it's not that easy. There are several steps. Another unnecessary thing that you don't have to use, but which I wonder why it's there, is the rotating screen. What could be better with this car is the electric range, but you also have to see the context of the price. There are now some plug-in hybrids that have a range of over 100 kilometers. The design version can manage up to 70 kilometers purely electrically, the boost version 80. There is also supposed to be another version, I think it's called Comfort. It has a slightly larger battery, I think 26 or something kilowatt hours. This version should manage over 100 kilometers. That's all still a bit of a stretch. The information will probably be available when this video is online, but at the moment I don't have it yet. Bud hasn't officially communicated that, so there's still a bit of a question mark over what I just said. So much for the disadvantages the BYD does. But it also does a lot of things really well. Here are 5 reasons that speak for this car. So much for the disadvantages the BYD does. But it also does a lot of things really well. Here are 5 reasons that speak for this car. Reason number 1 is that price-performance ratio. If you want a BMW X3 as a plug-in hybrid, you have to spend at least 66,000 euros. The Seal U in the Boost configuration costs less than 39,000 euros. It costs a bit more for design and comfort features, but is still cheaper than models from VW or Mazda. Reason number 2 is the standard equipment. A reasonably priced car doesn't have to be equipped like a Dixie-Clo. Navigation, head-up display, panoramic sunroof and a huge touchscreen are always on board, as are 19-inch rims, LED headlights and an electric tailgate. Even a 360-degree camera and technical gimmicks, such as vehicle-to-load function and climate control via the BYD app, are available. Reason number 3 is the workmanship. Many people probably don't think of quality when it comes to Chinese cars, but the workmanship of this car is not only on par with German manufacturers, but even better. Reason number 4 is the warranty. With many manufacturers, the fun is over after just 2 years. BYD, on the other hand, offers a 6-year warranty or 150,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. The drivetrain has an 8-year warranty, and the body should outlive many a house cat. In this case, the warranty is for 12 years. You don't have to worry about the battery for 8 years or 200,000 kilometers as long as BYD guarantees at least 70% of the original capacity. And number 5 is the handling. This car is ridiculously overpowered. I have 324 horsepower, 550 Newton meter of torque, and when I accelerate now, it still doesn't feel very impressive. The car is very heavy, 2.1 tons, and it goes from 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. There's also the combustion engine, so I have my doubts as to whether that is true. Is it important that it accelerates quickly? Not at all. Here, these intermediate sprints, let's say from 50 to 70, they are really very, very good. The top speed is 170 kilometers per hour, and the consumption is 7.4 liters, of course in pure electric mode. You hardly notice the difference between the combustion engine and the electric. It's really very well insulated in terms of noise. The insulation level is great. Overall, this car is very comfortable, which means it sways quite a bit, but not unsteadily. I would describe the handling as if a washing machine were a car. You don't have any emotional attachment to it, right? And that's how it drives. It does its job. It could also be a taxi, or it wouldn't really matter. If you're not hugely interested in cars and don't develop any emotional connection to them, you'll get a really good car with this, because it takes you everywhere. And it's not that expensive. In comparison, I've already mentioned a few alternatives. For example, the BMW X3, the Mazda CX-60, or the VW Tiguan. But let's be honest, they're so far away in terms of price that you can't really call them alternatives. A car that can keep up with the target in terms of point and price performance is the Hyundai Tucson. Well folks, and with that we end our video today. Thank you all for watching to the end. I hope you enjoyed our content. If you liked this video, we would be happy if you could like it and share the video on your social networks and subscribe to the channel. We have always appreciated your support. Now let's get ready for the next video here on our Wikipedia Plus channel. We'll be back soon. A big hug, and until then, bye.